Aleichem, and welcome to Online Smicha. Today we'll discuss the halacha in this week's Parsha, Parshas Shoftim. Right in the beginning of the Parsha talks to the Shoftim and says, V'shoftu asa'em mishpat tzedek, they should judge the people righteously, loisata mishpat. Then the pasuk says, tzedek, tzedek tirdoif. One should run after peace, one should run after justice, tzedek. Why does it say twice? So Rashi quotes from the Chazal, that halach hacha bezdin yofa, that if you know that there is a specific bezdin that they're very careful in having a mishpat tzedek, search for the best bezdin to come to this conclusion of tzedek. There are other mefarshim. The Ibn Ezra, for example, says tzedek tzedek, that no matter what the outcome may be, if it's just, either it's for tzedek that you're going to gain, or tzedek if it's the opposite that you may lose. But that you got to do what you got to do. That's the real tzedek. The Ramban brings that al derech hasod. He brings a whole pshat about how mishpat tzedek, how al derech hasod, what mishpat tzedek means, and what the schar will come about if you do that. But if you look through throughout the parsha, you find a theme that's mentioned 3, 4, 5 times about the judgment, fair judgment. We find a very interesting klal, that when you are concluding to a certain judgment, then uvi'arta hara mikirbecha. If you decided after proven facts that something was negative, something was done wrong, and this person deserves a punishment, you have to destroy evil from amongst you and make it known to others that they should see to stay away from this situation. And I'll bring you a couple examples. The pasuk talks about if you find isha ashayasa sarah be'inei Hashem, if it will be an individual that will go against the Eibishter and start worshipping idols, v'shemesh v'yareach. So it says after proper investigation, after going through chakira and drisha from Edom, and you have decided this person is guilty, so he deserves a punishment. Yad ha'edom tiyabay b'rishayna. Those witnesses should be the first to hand down the punishment, v'yad kolam b'achroina uvi'arta hara mikibercha, and make sure to erase evil from amongst you. Pasuk speaks about a couple of something further. We're talking about somebody who doesn't listen to the kohen, ha'omed l'sharasham. Then uvi'arta hara miYisrael, make sure to punish this person, and he should be uprooted, destroyed, punished amongst the klal. But not only that, not only he should be punished, but the pasuk stresses another point. V'chol ha'am yishmu v'yiro, and this is a point that everybody should see. V'lo yizid noid, and they should learn not to be like that. As Rashi brings from the Chazal, that because in a typical day you might not make enough noise, people wouldn't hear about this. So mamtinin lo yad hadrego, they wait to serve this person's punishment down until Yom Tiv time, when Klal Yisrael is there, so everybody should know this person got punished, and this is what happens when there's Rahman al-Aslan, a situation of Ra. Further on the pasuk, in the parsha, when it talks about somebody who is amazed, who set up a disaster, Rahman al-Aslan killed somebody with a whole plan. So whereas earlier it spoke about the Arei Miklat, where it ways how a person can be saved, and as Rashi says, after all, Nebuch, the person who he killed is already dead. So why are you so, okay, it was a mistake, or the guy, you can't bring back the dead. So why are we coming down so hard on this person? The pasuk clearly says, Lo yisochos eincha alav, you're not allowed to have any pity in a person like that. Uvi'arta dam hanoki miYisrael, and you should erase, for the point that he spilled innocent blood, you should erase this person from amongst the Jews. And the Torah stresses a phenomenal point, v'toivlach, by erasing evil, it will be good for you. As the Mefarshim say, that as long as the Seporno says, as people know that this is the punishment that comes down, nobody else will do the same. So that's the toiv. The Ramban says, harachmanos ala roitzchim shvichas damim. To show compassion, to show rachmanos on a killer is an act of killing, of shvichas dam. So it's v'toivlach. Further on it says, when it talks about Edom Zoymimim, witnesses who wanted to contradict other witnesses in many ways. So it says, again, uproot this from amongst you. Let people know we don't want this to happen. At the end of the parsha, the final pasuk of the parsha, where it talks about the story of the din of Egel Arufa. Egel Arufa is a story where someone is found dead. We don't know who killed him. So the Torah says you have to do the process of Egel Arufa. Says the Torah, Va'ata tivar adam hanaki mikirbecha ki sasha hayosher be'eina Hashem. By doing this, you'll the conscience of feeling guilty that somebody's killed and nobody knows who it was, you will destroy. You did something on behalf of the innocent blood, because the evil has to be erased. And by doing that, Tasa hayosher be'eina Hashem. And Rashi brings that if you even after you did this Egel Arufa, so you might think the process, the kapara, was already done. But if the one who killed this innocent person was found, you have to hand him down the punishment. The evil, wickedness has to be totally uprooted, destroyed from amongst Klal Yisrael. And it has to be done in a manner that people realize that it was done wrong. And this is a punishment, and only then v'toivlach. There's an interesting Gemara in Gemara Chulin. The Gemara talks about the mitzvah of Shiluach Haken. What birds are you able to fulfill this mitzvah with? And the Gemara said, the Mishnah says, B'chulin avoloi b'mukdashim. You cannot use a bird that belongs to Hektish, because since the Torah says Shaleach tishalech is a aim, you have to send away the mother bird, and this bird cannot be sent away. It has to be brought to the Gizber. It has to be brought to the Beis HaMikdash. Comes Ravina, and Ravina says, Hilkach, oif tar shaharagas hanefesh. If there was a bird, if it's possible, the Gemara actually brings a story of a bird once killing a young child, biting his skull. But if there was a bird that killed the innocent person, pater mishiluach, the mitzvah of shiluach HaKain will not apply on that bird. My taima, for what reason? For the same reason. That bird, you're not able to fulfill shaleach to shaleach sa'im. This one has to be brought to Bezdin. A bird that committed a crime has to be brought to Bezdin. Even if there wasn't found guilty yet, you don't know for certain that the bird did the crime. But even if it's questionable, says the Gemara, boi la'asuya lebeidina. You have to bring the bird to Bezdin, v'kiyuma bei, and to fulfill with this bird, uvi arta hara mikirbecha. Now, it's interesting, as the Torah Tamima quotes, questions, that in the Gemara and Chulin, in two places, he doesn't bring both places, but in two places it's brought this concept that even a Baal Chai cannot be left loose unless you fulfill this uvi arta hara mikirbecha. In halacha, it should have been brought many times over that if you find somebody guilty of killing or anything like that, that you have to fulfill. You have to make sure that he has his day in court, has his day in Bezdin, and you fulfill the kiyum of v'arta hara mikibecha v'chol ha'am yishmu v'yiro v'toiv lach. Yeshikoyach, and please join us again next week.